Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 9th. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Ah, yes, the familiar sound of the Annapolis City Council kicking the market house down the road once again. Last night's meeting, there were 2 bills up for vote. One was to select a vendor to operate the market house, and the other one was to move forward with working with that vendor. When it came time to vote, Rob Savage, alderman for Ward 7, moved to accept the Annapolis Oyster Company's proposal, which was led by Harvey Blonder, and then proceeded to vote against it. Annapolis Oyster Company was effectively eliminated in a 3-5 vote, which seemed to clear the way for New Market. Mayor Buckley did not participate in this, and he recused himself from this because of a conflict of interest because of his business partner being the lead man with New Market. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for New Market. Several questions came up from members of the audience, and ultimately the vote failed on a 4-4 vote, with the new members of the council voting to move forward and the older members of the council voting to put the brakes on. So now it's back to square one with the market house, and I guess the question that remains is, will Harvey Blonder lock the doors and turn in the key, or is he willing to take a month-to-month lease while the city continues to figure this mess out? Stay tuned.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Governor Larry Hogan announced that he was sending $2.5 million of discretionary funding to support emergency repairs to heating and cooling systems in the city schools in Baltimore. And he also called for an increased accountability for school leaders. Under a legislative proposal, the Maryland State Department of Education would hire an independent investigator appointed by a commission, including the governor, State Senate President Mike Miller, and House Speaker Mike Bush, that follows not just the concerns about waste in city schools, but a grade-fixing scandal in PG County and ethical concerns raised about the outside employment of both Baltimore County Interim Superintendent Verletta White and immediate predecessor Dallas Dance. Baltimore County is following the shoes of Anne Arundel County and intends to file a federal lawsuit against some pharmaceutical manufacturers and distributors of opioids, said County Executive Kevin Kamenetz. This announcement comes after 187 substance-related deaths came in Baltimore County in the first 6 months of 2017. Baltimore County is the number 2 municipality in the state for opioid overdoses and deaths. Behind Baltimore City, Anne Arundel is number 3. Newly hired Arizona head coach Herm Edwards quickly got down to business and hired defensive line coach Sean Nua from Navy. Nua, our defensive line coach, will take that same position with the Sun Devils. Coach Ken Niumatalolo is quoted in the Capitol as saying, "Sean's had offers almost every year he's been here. We were very fortunate to keep him as long as we did. He felt this opportunity was too good to pass up. I wish him all the best, and I know he will do great things in his career." And if anybody knows Coach Ken, you know that he is totally sincere about that. Another interesting twist in the medical marijuana program here in Maryland. A person who receives treatment through Maryland's new medical marijuana program may have to surrender his or her right to own a gun. The Baltimore Sun reported on Monday that concerns are growing over how federal gun laws will impact people who use medical marijuana. Marijuana is still illegal under federal law. Authorities have made it clear to gun dealers that they shouldn't sell to people who use marijuana medically. The Maryland State Police oversee gun ownership in the state. They ask prospective gun buyers if they have a medical marijuana card. Baltimore is number 1. But try not to scratch your head on this one. Baltimore, for the second year in a row, ranks number 1 on Orkin's list of the top 50 bedbug cities. Baltimore took the number 1 spot last year after climbing up from 14, so that was an impressive move. And if you're wondering if you can escape into Washington, D.C. to escape the bedbugs, think again. Washington, D.C. ranks number 2. Here's an idea, and I'm not sure it's going to fly. Ricky Smith, who is the CEO of BWI Airport, said he has never seen more people with their dogs in the airport, and he is developing a pet hotel for people to drop off their animals. BWI is in discussions with a local pet hotel operator, which I think is really a kennel, for the service. Passengers will be able to park, drop off their pet on the way to the airport, and when you return, you pick up your pet and pick up your car and go on your way back home. The new service would operate at the back end of the long-term parking garage. People would drop off their pets, and the operator will transport the pets to a nearby kennel. A request for proposals is already out and is expected to be complete by the spring. Hey, and be careful out there on the roads this morning. I was just out walking the dog, and the sidewalks and the roads were a little bit slippery to my feet. I'm guessing it's a little bit of black ice, and typically in Annapolis, we're a little bit warmer, so I imagine it may be slick up in Glen Burnie, out West County, Odenton, Gambrels. Don't want to see anybody wreck. Hang tight. We've got some weather for you coming right up.
Hi, this is Anne Arundel County Executive Steve Schuh. It breaks my heart to see families destroyed by the trauma of addiction. That's why we're doing everything possible to fight heroin and prescription drug abuse. If you are a parent, talk to your kids about the dangers of prescription drugs. If you are struggling with addiction, now is the time to get help. Go to denialisdeadly.org or call 410-768-5522.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, January 9th. So we finally get through the Arctic blast for the last 15 days and the light freezing rain and sleet yesterday, only to have some dense fog pop up out of nowhere this morning. It will last through approximately 8 to 10 a.m. and could reduce visibilities to a quarter mile or less at times, so be careful out there on the roads for the morning commute. The upside will warm up for several days as warm temps today and tomorrow climb into the low to mid 40s, then 50s Thursday before upper 50s to low 60s Friday. The downside, more rain is on the way Thursday and Friday, but it has been a very dry last few months across Annapolis and much of Anne Arundel County, so we could use a little moisture. Looking ahead to the weekend, though, expect a return to well below average temps, with highs around 30 to 35 degrees both days. So while winter isn't going anywhere for good, it'll be gone for at least the next 4 days. Okay, that's it for us today. Be sure to download our free weather app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather, and follow us on our website at dmvweather.com or on Twitter or Facebook so you can always stay weather informed. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast. Remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Did you know that more than 1,200 mental health patients had to be transferred last year by AAMC to facilities outside our area because these facilities do not exist right here in our own area? Denim and Diamonds is a fabulous, fun evening under the stars to support expanding mental health care in our community. AAMC Foundation proudly thanks RxNT for their generous $50,000 exclusive presenting sponsorship. Get more info at AAMCDenimandDiamonds.org.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at noon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.